This episode of the Bromigos Podcast was recorded on 4/20/2022. Let's get high, motherfuckers.
Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos Podcast.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Yo, I'm so hyped right now. What's happening? Listen. Welcome. Hey, we're going to get right to it. It's 4:20. We're going to get a lot to talk about. But, you know, here we are. I'm Panama Red.
You know, it's your boy Daint Money. What's poppin', baby?
And the token white boy, motorboating Matt.
Yeah. Oh, man. Happy 420.
Happy 420, people.
Hey,
and you know what? Today is a holiday, but it's not even the best day of the week. You know why? Because tomorrow on 4/21, the wees, the ganja, the good kush, it's
good
legal
stuff.
in the state
Mary
of New
G,
Jersey. Thank you,
yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Finally.
Every day I wake up, you know what I want to hear on my phone?
I feel like it's a long
Mary
time coming,
Jane.
man.
All the time, baby.
Oh, man. It's going to be great. You know, to be able to go to the store, to the dispensary, and just buy weed like cigarettes.
Excuse me, sir. Can I get an eighth, please? Actually, no, give me an O. I'm feeling good today. Let me get an O. Let me last through the whole week, baby.
Do you smoke, Matt?
Matt, you smoke?
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke?
I'm the only one of us that doesn't smoke.
Oh,
so
you're
this
wild.
conversation doesn't even pertain to me.
Oh, he's wild. We got to get Matt.
Well, since you don't even smoke, you know, the devil's lettuce, as they say. I got a question for you, Matt.
Yes.
How you feel about weed, man? You know, I know some people don't really like it. You know, some people say, "Oh, it's a drug. It's a gateway drug," which it is not.
You know what?
I research.
It's funny you mentioned that. And I'll tell you my experience when it comes to what my thoughts are on the marijuana.
Marijuana. Love marijuana.
I heard that on Family Guy once, so
yeah.
it kind of just stuck with me.
Yeah.
But for me, I used to think, because when my friends started smoking weed, like back in school and shit, I was like, man, what are you guys doing? You guys, I was such a fucking nerd.
Just being a stick in the mud.
Yeah, I
and
was being a
shit.
stick in the mud. For lack of better terms, I was being a stick in the mud.
Big old lame.
And I was being a big old lame. I was the quote unquote, for a period of time, straight edge guy out of the group of friends that I had. Because I'm friends with a lot of, I don't want to say degenerates,
Okay.
but.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I tend to make friends with a lot of hood people.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just happens. So when they started doing this, and even some of my friends that
Matt's an
weren't,
undercover brother. I'm telling you, undercover brother.
Low-key,
brother.
right?
I might steal that. Instead of token white
Yeah.
boy, I'm going to call myself
The
undercover brother now.
Undercover brother.
Matt, the undercover brother. You fuck sisters? Fuck the sisters soon? Some chocolate in your life?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm not. How do I make this? How do I say this without sounding racist?
Man, say the shit.
I am not nearly as attracted to black women as I am, say, Latinas.
That's okay.
or-
That's all right.
That's
all
okay.
right.
It's just,
a
you know,
preference.
it's just a
cool.
thing for me.
I dig it. He's honest. He's not racist, so y'all chill out.
They gotta look like, what's her face, Halle Berry bad
Oh,
for me to like
good.
Now see,
think
now-
about
now-
it.
now here's where you-
he went right for creme de la creme right
exactly.
there. You know what I'm
You
saying?
went for the upper echelon. I fuck with that. I
He
see
ain't
where
say
you're going.
no. He's bypassed Beyonce, all the motherfuckers said.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, no,
Sir?
Halle Berry is the queen to me.
Exquisite taste.
Yes.
Exquisite taste.
Yes.
Perfect combination,
He likes
class
milk chocolate.
with a little bit of, you know what I'm
With
saying?
a little bit of ass.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
A little some of that thing.
right
You
in the
know what I'm
pussy.
saying?
But no, in all seriousness, like, so going back to the weed, like, I used to be that kind of guy. I
Yeah.
used to be like that motherfucker. I'll never smoke weed. I'll never drink. I'll
That's
never do
wild.
any of that shit. Then I started drinking, so that kind of fucking got
Yeah,
out of
that's
whack
wild.
for me. But, and I used to be like that type of guy where it's like, oh, weed is a gateway drug and shit like that. And for some of my friends, it has been.
Yeah,
I won't
it
name
can be
names.
true for some people.
Some people kind of move on to other things because, you know, maybe their life's a little bit too stressful. So they move on to the hard stuff, the nose powder. I don't think anyone I know has tried heroin. I hope they haven't.
No.
But like they've moved on. Some of them have moved on to the nose powder. Not
That
as
white
much.
girl. That white girl.
Yeah. It's. I won't name names, but it is a white girl.
Line.
Booger sugar.
Blow
That's what we're going to call
away.
it. Another name. Booger sugar.
You know,
I feel it.
I kind of got a similar story too because when I was in high school, listen, I was all sports. I was an athlete. I was not worried about none of that shit. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't do anything. And I was one of those kids that was like, yo, you know, weed it's a drug. I can't do it. You know, I don't want to get high. I remember I sat in biology class my very first day, sophomore year, and our teacher was talking about weed, and she was like, you guys should never smoke weed. It kills your brain cells, and you can die from it. Don't listen to the people that tell you can die. You can't. And I'm like, I was at the time, I was like, well, I mean, my biology teachers, they know about the body. They're right.
Yeah.
So
then,
you got scared straight like prison style.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I was scared straight. But what I'll say is at the time, I was just like, I had to put all my focus into one thing, and I don't want, if I do decide to do it, I don't want that to hinder my productivity.
I dig it.
You know what I'm saying? So it got to senior year, and then I started doing my own research, started to understand more about weed. I started to see more people smoking. I'm like, wait a second. Now I know cigarettes are bad. I know alcohol is bad. Yeah. I'm like, everybody smokes weed. They talk about it. People make songs about it, and everybody does. I'm like, let me check this shit out. So I really started doing my own research, and I understood. I was like, you know what? This is not as bad as how people have been teaching us how bad it is. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy the stigma behind it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you try it for the first time, you're like, yo, this is not new. Granted, the first time I tried weed, I smoked so much I fell asleep and then woke up and I was still high. Fucking with these white boys, gotta love them, man. Shout out to the white boys. Then the second time I smoked it, I was in high school. It was with a girl that I was dating at the time. This is a Salvadorian chick, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
See, mommy?
Shit. But anyway, we're in the back of a fucking Eclipse with her. It was her and I in the back seat, and then her sister and her sister's boyfriend was driving. Not even all that. Her sister ain't all that. But anyway, yo, I don't know what the fuck they did to it, but I just started feeling like my heart was pounding. I'm like, yo, I need to go to the hospital. Like, no, yo, chill out. You're just high, motherfucker. Calm down. I'm like, I'm not that high. I'm having a heart attack. Take me. Take me.
You had that one of those. See, that's what one of my friends had. When she started smoking, she had like 2 panic attacks the first time.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, that's not supposed to happen. And I'm just like,
it's not supposed to happen.
Fuck,
but the
that
thing
scared
is,
me.
I stuck with it, right? So I tried it a third time. But this time, fucking with white people, I'm trying to tell you, man. I had this fucking bong called the Devastator. It was like 2 feet high, had 3 big-ass chambers you had to clear, and that was house rules. You had to clear all 3 chambers.
That's tough.
My lungs almost collapsed, bro. Fuck. So again, I didn't try it again till once I got hurt playing soccer in college. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, my career's over. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just do what I want. And god damn, we're talking about wake and bake every day, bro.
As you should.
I'm a big advocate of marijuana. I love it. I love everything about it. I love how it makes me feel. I think more people should smoke. We probably have less war if more people smoke.
That's what I said. Listen, if everybody in the world were to smoke some weed, there'd never be another war.
Yes.
We never have any conflict.
Fuck out of here.
Be like, war? Nah, I need a sandwich.
Man, let's roll this joint, man.
This
We're
joint
the
really
backwoods.
quick.
Man, get the papers.
Man. Yo, somebody give Putin a blunt.
You know what I'm saying?
Roll him the blunt, man.
He need a blunt and a bitch.
Yeah, facts.
The 2 B's, blunt and bitch.
Facts. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker ain't getting his balls licked. That's probably why he wilding.
Can I ask you this then? So sometimes I think as though people use marijuana too much, almost as if it's like a crutch to their day-to-day life.
Okay.
Like, what would your opinion on that be?
So I think it has less to do with the drug and more to do with the actual personality. Like, if you're a bum, you're a bum. Weed is not going to make you. You know, some of the best minds of the world smoke and create wonders. So it's really not a matter of it being the drug. It's really just, this is, as you mentioned, an excuse. It's just an excuse, right? Because I know people that they function very well. Like, I can't drive when I smoke. I'm just not that person. But I know motherfuckers that could probably do NASCAR races while they're high.
Yeah, see, I could drive high and I'm completely fine. Actually, when I feel like when I drive high, I'm much more controlled in what I'm doing. Yeah. Because you're concentrating. You're like concentrating on everything you're doing. You're looking straight ahead the road. You know, you're minding the speed limit and everything. Sometimes I drive a little bit slower. Yeah. Like, typically, I'm driving like 10, 15 over the speed limit. Now I'm driving like right at it. Or
yeah,
like
I'm the type of person that I can get high. Like, I'll do smoke just a little bit.
Right.
And then I'll fucking do a project or I'll clean. Like, one day my girl was like, we want to clean the apartment. I was like, you know what, baby? Sit down. I got it. Smoke a little weed. Boom. Kitchen, bathroom, living room, vacuum, mop, dusted. Boom. What are you talking about?
And then what rhymes with WAP is that she gave you WAP right after that shit because you are like the quintessential man. It's like, shit, honey, I got this. Smokes a little weed, does the entire house in X amount of time. Yeah. If she didn't walk out of that bedroom with some of the finest lingerie you've ever seen.
I'm not even a lingerie guy. You know, it's crazy. I'm not a lingerie guy. I'm the type of dude, you know what I prefer? Wear one of my T-shirts. That's sexy to me. That's sexy to me. Hell yeah. Like in my soccer jersey that I wore in college, wear that shit.
Yeah, put that
That's
on.
sexy.
Yeah, that's
You know
nice.
what I'm saying?
Honestly,
I like that.
I'm more of a lingerie guy,
Okay.
but that's just my opinion. Like,
I dig.
I can dig. I haven't done a whole lot yet.
Okay.
So you have to keep in mind, like, my experiences are not your guys' experience.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still,
mean-
I am
Understood.
now finally coming out of that boring
Facts,
fucking
facts,
phase
facts.
out of
Listen,
my
the
life.
ladies
I'm
don't
starting
want
to live a
boring
little
fuck,
bit
bro.
more.
Especially like, how old are you?
I will be 25.
Okay, 25 years old. They ain't trying to fuck, bro. I'm talking about the best fucking in your life. Like here, we're gonna put Dante on blast. Dang.
What?
We're gonna put him on blast because he was talking about 15, 20 minutes.
Yes.
He don't care how
I don't
he
give a fuck.
performs.
No,
that's
I don't care.
crazy.
I'm not
to
worried
me.
about all that.
That is so
I'm not worried about all
crazy
that.
to me.
No.
I don't get that. Like I'm like I need a Google review, 5 stars, 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Anything less is unacceptable.
See, here's my thing. At the end
when-
of the day, you're really not gonna give a fuck. You got if as long as you catch your nut, I catch my nut. We moving on. This is what it is,
See-
bro. I don't have time for all that
See,
bullshit.
you know what? Let me tell you a story. And this is the first time I had sex. Like I did ask that question, like, how do you think I did? And she said, she said she enjoyed it. She said she gave me some pointers on what to do. And the next time wasn't nearly as good because, well, let's just say I nutted a little too quick. But for me, at least I made her come with my mouth before like I even stuck it in. So
Yeah,
at least
so see,
at least that I still helped her out and I got my nut. So I see your point, but at the same time, feedback is incredibly important, if you want to get better. If you're someone like me that is not maybe the most confident guy,
Yeah.
feedback helps me get better at things like this.
When you speak of confidence, like I was one of those guys that had misplaced confidence, right? So in high school, I thought I was that dude. I thought I was just slaying the coochie when I was in high school. And then I used to work at a Fridays my senior year, and there was this one girl, I'll never forget her. She was great to me. Her name was Julia, right? We worked together, and I wanted to fuck. And she was like, "You're still in high school." Like she's a college chick, and I'm like, "That don't got nothing to do with it."
Were you 18?
At the time, I was.
Okay, so there's no
but
reason
she was
to.
just going with the whole high school mentality. You know, you think differently
Man,
in high school.
Man, fuck that. Fuck the whole high school mentality, dude. I felt like I was a 40-year-old among 17, 16-year-olds.
You probably were because you weren't doing
I
it.
was a fucking deadhead. Yeah, I will admit that.
Yeah,
but
but-
like at the same time, I feel like I matured too quickly throughout like
Nah, fuck that. I will
high
always
school.
be immature.
All right, I got a question. Like on some 420 shit. You know, since we here on the best holiday of the year. Yo, what's one of your best? I wouldn't say your best high story. Give me like a story where you were so high and some wild shit happened.
Oh man,
You know?
there is just too many to tell. So I wouldn't say it was like a wild story because most of my like when I'm too high, see, I'm a sativa guy, so it doesn't even matter.
I'm more of a hybrid myself.
Okay, so I'll tell you like. So people, when you try edibles, right? People don't understand how it takes a little. It's not instant.
No.
Most of the time, it's not instant, right? So I was in Amsterdam with my boy DJ. We had just left the coffee shop, and on our way back to our Airbnb, we were like, "Yo, let's get an edible." So I found this spot. On the wrapper of the edible, it was a brownie. It says extremely strong, and I'm one of those person that I don't really buy into shit because false advertisement and whatnot. But so I get I'm like, should I eat this whole thing? Fuck it. I'm high anyway. I eat the whole thing. Mistake. Literally 5 minutes after eating this fucking thing, I'm just so high, I'm stuck. Like I can't walk forward, I can't walk backwards, and I just start sweating. My boy's like, dude, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know, man. I think I'm high as fuck. I can't handle this right now. Just dripping fucking sweat, boy. You would think I left the sauna. I was just dripping in this shit. You know what? Never again. I don't fuck with edibles. Every time I do an edible. This girl I know, her name Frankie, she gave me a fucking cookie. It's like Chips Ahoy. Right? So I'm like, man, edible, it probably is not all that. Bro, I ate the whole cookie.
You got fucked.
I was
up.
high for a day and a half.
Oh shit.
No bullshit. Like a day and a half.
So
I'm like, this is not normal.
See, edibles are fascinating to me
Yeah,
though. Like
the way they work is
how is it
insane.
possible?
this is all I tell anybody who wants to start smoking, right? They all say the same thing. Oh, I'm going to try an edible first. Why do I speak in that voice? Because it's always the white bitches. Every time. They're like, oh, I want to do shrooms. Actually, no.
No.
I feel like someone was gonna give me a brownie and I was gonna eat it, but like I didn't want to eat it because like I've never been high before.
quick.
But, like I want to take it with some of my friends.
Real
Like,
quick,
shut
you
up.
brought up shrooms, right? So the shit that kills me with people who pretend they do drugs, shrooms is like an all day affair, bro.
Yeah.
You got to put time out of your day to do.
You have to schedule that
like,
shit.
You can smoke some weed and you can still go about your day and function. Shrooms, you're talking about seeing shit, bro. I'm sorry. I did shrooms in Amsterdam. Gotta love fucking Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
After I was high, so I smoked some weed first. We spent a few hours in a coffee shop, then went and fucking took a cap of shrooms.
Mm-hmm, cap.
It was the best experience ever, but I was high for hours.
Yeah, that's the thing. Psychedelics last a long time.
Yes, hours. And I'm like, how do people, like now people do the micro dosing and they do all that different shit with it. No, thank you. Let me take my one cap. Let me chill out.
See, people are getting way too scientific with it.
Yeah.
Though. They're like breaking it down to a science that doesn't even need to be broken down.
Well, now microdosing makes sense because sometimes you don't necessarily want to take a whole.
Yeah,
that's true. I could agree with that point. I'm just saying is like some people just take it to another level where it doesn't necessarily need to go to that.
Yeah,
point.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's experimenting, but like with edibles, bro. Now this is my edible story. Okay, it's quarantine, 2020. In June, right? This was like when things really started to open up in Jersey because Jersey, Jersey was bad. Like they weren't letting us do shit. It was bad for a while, yeah. Right. So by the time June hit, they were letting people go to the beach because apparently, COVID doesn't exist on the beach, right? So me and my boys were going down to Cape May at my boy's beach house, and 7:00 in the morning, pulled to my boy's crib, and we're about to drive down to Cape May. I had a bottle of Pink Moscato on me. I was like, I bet. Let me just,
Hold on, pause.
Yes. So basically, we were just getting
How many women were with you?
I knew this nigga was gonna say some bullshit. I knew you were gonna say some bullshit. Just let me drink, man. Just let me drink. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. Yes.
The fuck?
But you didn't let me finish. Listen, so I drank this whole bottle, right? Because first of all, I like Pink Moscato.
Britney
It tastes like
Spears
soda.
ass nigga.
Kiss my ass. Okay? It tastes like soda. All right? It's like wine soda. Anyway, I drank the whole bottle right there. So obviously, by the time I get down to Cape May, I'm drunk as hell, right?
Off Pink Moscato.
Well, wait a second, gets better. So then we down there and we just drinking. Had about 4 Coronas. Then
How the fuck did you not get liver poisoning?
No, he's drinking like a real white girl.
No,
wait a minute, let me drink my Pink Moscato and 4 Coronas.
I was
the fuck? This motherfucker.
So then
drinking like a whole Becky.
So back then, I took my mom's Henny from the cabinet and brought that down there.
You drinking like a real.
Then I was going crazy. But I wasn't done yet. We go to the beach. I'm on the beach. I'm drunk. I fell asleep. Hour later, we come back to the spot. Now, the day before we left to go down to Cape May, I went to my boy's crib. He gave me an edible. This is my first one. So it was a Nerds rope, 400 milligrams.
They got Nerds ropes of those?
Oh, yeah, bro. The Nerds ropes are bussing. They're bussing. So I go upstairs and I take a nap because I was drunk. My boys bring me upstairs and I wake up and I'm like, still a little drowsy or whatever. And my homie's like, yo, man, I took half my edible. You want to take yours now? And I'm like, all right, bet. So I take the edible and I'm like, I'm eating it. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to eat the whole thing. My dumbass. Man, when I tell you, I go downstairs and I'm cooling. I'm like, yo, this edible ain't doing shit. Like, everybody telling me edibles get you stupid high and all that kind of stuff. Mind you, at the same time, I was a little drunk. I go to eat.
Hold on, real quick. You're telling me after you drank all of that stuff, you went and you took an edible too?
Yes.
How are you alive?
Rookie.
Wait a second. Wait, it's not. This isn't even the end of the story. So I go outside, and we're eating. Right. Take my phone, Mike.
Mike, take the phone.
Take my phone.
Oh God.
That's me. When it hit, I'm eating a hamburger. It took me 45 minutes.
Yo.
You can't just not show me. Hold on a second.
It took me 45
I'm
minutes
sorry.
to finish a hamburger, man. I went upstairs to fall asleep. My nigga, when I tell you I was seeing shit, I was laying on the top of the Earth's atmosphere in this big black planet with a bunch of different colored lights just came towards me, right? And I got sucked into it. Like its energy just sucked me into the planet, right? And then I became one with that planet. And then like it was a wild experience. And I was like, so this is what edibles be doing?
So He's not exaggerating when he says that burger took him 45 minutes.
Took me 45 minutes.
The way he's eating that burger, that's got to be the slowest thing I've ever
Just
seen.
on some real new nigga shit. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I can't wait. Hold on. Check this out. Let's go run down the list. Okay, Pink Moscato.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's pause right there. Pink Moscato. Okay. Then you got fucking the Coronas. How many were there? 5 of them?
4? You said?
Four Coronas.
What else? Oh, his mom had her friends over, so they were sangria there. We was drinking that shit.
Oh,
You had the
God.
Henny. You had the
had the
Henny.
Hennessy. Shit, what else were we were just drinking beer straight up. We had the Bud Light seltzers. I mean, we were just drinking.
Yeah.
You know? And honestly, I don't drink like that, but it's, what white people do at the beach. So I was doing what the white people do. You know, when you're with the whites.
Don't blame the white people
you're
for
with
your
the
poor
whites.
choices.
Yeah,
Hey,
what the fuck?
Yeah, you don't blame the white people for your poor choices.
I had a great experience.
fuck
Like,
outta
I'm
here.
not mad at it. I'm not mad. I had a great time.
Here comes one of Dante's boys. Let's call him Kyle. Hey, Dante, would you like to try some of this? Well, that sounds swell, Kyle.
Well, golly jeepers, Kyle.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Kyle, bro. If you ever hear this, because I know you know this story, that I didn't. They're not talking about you, man. I promise. Because my boy Kyle was there, so I ain't gonna hold you. And I was out.
just took a guess,
But
but
my boy
shit.
Kyle was at the crib. Now weed. I've been smoking since prom weekend, senior year.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I told you before, I never wanted to smoke weed. That wasn't my thing. I was never into it. But when prom hit, I knew everyone, that's what everyone does at prom weekend. They do all that crazy shit. I was like, all right, bet I'll finally fucking do it. Why? I'm not playing sports right now. You know, school's almost over, senior year, bang. So I hit the group chat for our prom house. I was like, yo, it's like a month before prom. I was like, yo, I'm going to hit one of those Jeep things when I get down there. They all started going crazy because they all smoked. They're like, yo, Daint's about to hit a Jeep. Yo, we're holding you to it, bro. We ain't going to let you not do this shit. So, all right, bet. So prom's over. Head down there. We get down to Seaside Heights around like 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, you went down to Seaside for prom weekend?
Yeah. It was wild weekend.
Okay.
So we up in the bathroom.
You see Paulie D while you down there?
Hell no. so my boy he pulls out this contraption. I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? It was a milk carton and there was a Gatorade bottle and a socket thing and I was like, yo, what am I looking at? And the water was nasty as fuck. I mean, dirty, right? So he's like, yo, Daint, relax, man. Listen, I'm gonna pull this. When I open up the cap, suck it. And I was like, all right, bet. I guess I'm gonna have to suck it. Pause, right? So pulls the shit. And I'm like,
Virgin lungs.
he's like, yo, you gotta finish it. You gotta finish this shit. And I'm like, finish it? He's like, do you see me coughing like this? Like I'm a fucking cancer patient? I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
So I walk out and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. I see my bed and I just fall into it. And I start cracking up laughing for 10 straight minutes about nothing. Everyone's just looking at me laughing and everything. They thought I was so funny. All I was doing was just laughing. I didn't say anything. I thought everything was funny. Then I knock out. And all I remember is waking up at 10 o'clock the next morning. I don't remember shit.
Hey.
The first time I ever got high.
See, this is the shit. This is one thing I say about white people, and I love it, man. Bro, they come up with some contraptions to be fucking smoking some shit.
Facts.
God damn.
Some of my buddies have created some crazy shit. I don't know all the details of it, so I can't really say, but let's just say that they have something called whiteout. They have a contraption called whiteout.
That don't sound good.
It doesn't sound good. I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it at my boy's apartment one day. I think I could have sworn I seen whiteout. I'm just like, motherfucker, that you couldn't pay me
Yeah,
enough.
no,
to
I'm not
fucking
trying
take a hit
something
of
that says whiteout. I've tried a gas mask before.
I tried a gas
shit
mask a couple
is-
months ago. That shit is crazy.
You know what's some crazy shit? I've seen somebody fucking take a rip out of a fish. They turned a fucking fish into a bong.
Yeah, you could turn anything into a bong. It's
You
pretty
pretty much
easy.
That just proves
Yeah, you
it.
can turn
That
anything
proves
into a
it.
bong.
But I'm not doing that. That's
No.
That's fucking
I
nasty.
love fish. I love weed, but the combination of the two don't sound good.
I think the most creative I ever been was over the summer. We made a mega jeeb, and if you don't know what a jeeb is, it's like a gravity bong. So you got the water and the base, and then you put the bottle in there. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Anyways, make a big mega jeeb, right? So we had a bucket, like a big bucket, and we took one of the 2-liter soda bottles and put it in there. When I tell you, it took us like an hour to make this thing. We had to heat up the knife in order to make this big ass hole in the bottom of the bottle. And then we went to Walmart, and we went to Walmart at like 12 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We stole 2 sockets from one of the toolboxes, and we leave. and we glued the sockets together, and then we taped it around with some masking tape.
Wow.
And we filled that bitch. And then we put hot water in the bucket. And if you ever had a hot water, Jeeb, that is the smoothest hit you will ever get. I swear. You could finish a bowl and you wouldn't even freaking know it because it's so smooth.
No, thank you.
So we pulling it, man. Pulling it. It took about 8 pulls just to finish that thing. Man, me and my boys went back inside.
Cooking.
Yo, we went to ShopRite right beforehand. We had 3 pizzas.
Oh my God. These motherfuckers had the munchies.
3 of these oven pizzas, right? Pop them bitches in the oven.
Yeah.
Then we heat up some dino nugs, right? We put the dino nugs on top of the pizza and roll it up. Then you have a dino nugget pizza burrito. My nigga, let me tell you something.
People eat the weirdest shit.
This is why I can't get high, because if I have the fucking munchies, I'm probably going to gain another 70 pounds.
Yeah, no.
There's no way I can fucking smoke
get
weed
the
after
munchies
hearing
in
shit
The
like
munchies
that.
be hitting. The munchies be hitting.
I know they be hitting, but listen to me, man. I can't smoke now after hearing that story because I just gained 10 pounds listening to that.
I can't.
Holy shit.
You know what you need to do? See, we need to get mad high. Listen.
Look, every
high.
one of my friends that I know in my personal life have tried. They have all failed. Mike,
you
you
ain't
can't.
smoking me.
You cannot convince me.
You have your good stories and your bad stories.
Yeah,
It's just like you have your
fuck
good and
it.
bad stories
But
with
it's not
alcohol.
even. It's not the
what
bad
you-
or the good stories. It's just like for me, and this is just me. I have no use for it in my life.
Man, listen,
I
everybody. It's like therapy. Everybody has use for it, man.
I don't know about that. You couldn't pay me. Maybe you
Listen,
could. Maybe
the
that'll
best
actually do
thing
it. But
my best weed experience is probably having sex after getting high.
I was going to ask that question earlier.
Matt.
Someone has told me once that
Listen.
having sex while high is fucking crazy. Please do tell.
I think the only thing better is probably having it on E. That's probably the only thing because E just heightens all your senses, so everything you feel, smell, it's just.
Bro, this one time, like
so sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So you tell me if you feel, smell everything, you're probably going to bust hella quick then because your senses are so heightened.
Well, with weed, it kind of like slows everything down depending on what you smoke.
You're calm.
So you're you're more in the moment, right? Versus when you have it on ecstasy, it's like the feeling times 1,000. Like once I did it on ecstasy, I couldn't have sex normally for a little bit because it just didn't feel good. So I had to like get all that shit out. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So you did it once and it didn't feel good to you. Regular sex did not feel good to you.
Yeah, so I did it once on ecstasy and it was amazing, right? I mean, I can't even describe the feeling. It's like it was. I guess that's what being in a porno feels like. I don't fucking know. I guess that would be the equivalent to it. It was, I mean, insane. And then a week later, tried to have sex again, and it just didn't feel the same. It was like it wasn't it for me.
And it was still in your system at that point, right?
No, I don't. No, I think it's out of your system by then, but I don't fucking know. But smoking weed and having sex, oh man, it's like, bro, you could be hitting it, and then hold on, let me smoke this joint real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like it's oh man, I've had sexual experiences, man.
So let me ask you this: when you say it slows everything down for you, are you now having strokes like Dante eats a hamburger?
no,
Because this is the thing: if he can eat a hamburger and slow as fuck on his first time, there ain't no way.
No. I was still
it's gonna take him 40 minutes to have a full stroke.
But that's because this motherfucker was sipping on pink Moscato. That's why he having that shit. The fuck no.
My stomach was done up, bro. I'm like, literally.
I mean, you had fucking cognac, Moscato, beer, like all this different shit.
I woke up like later that night and I yacked all over that bathroom. It was bad. I didn't even know it because I don't remember anything. Like this is the shit people were. I remember my dreams, but like the shit that happened, people were telling. I was like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
And then they show you the videos, and then it's just like, oh,
that's the only video footage we have. Like that, I knocked out. So I knocked the fuck out.
What we're saying is, Dante's not allowed to get white girl wasted because that's what you did.
That's what you did. That is what you did. As
Listen,
a white man.
Oh yeah,
you did.
I really was.
that
Nah,
night.
if I'm crossed, nah, like no.
No, sir.
Nah, if I'm just drunk, I'm cooling. If I'm just high, I'm cooling. But the mix, nah, it's just. No, it's not a good mix for Daint. Not a good mix for Daint.
Do that.
Nah, but I think the worst time I got high. Now, I don't know how many people have these types of stories, but I'm gonna tell you. So you know how when you black out when you're drinking?
I never blacked out, but I know what
but
you're
you know
saying.
it about it, all right? But when you get high, when you get a little too high, it's a thing called greening out. Green out is the worst fucking experience I've ever had in my whole life.
Hold up. You're going to have to explain this because I've never heard the term, and two, like, I've smoked a lot of weed, and all it's ever done is I've wanted to pass out. That's all that's ever happened to me. So explain.
I greened out about a year ago, like a year and a half ago, right?
Okay.
I just got back down to school and we were smoking, right? And I brought my stuff down with me and I filled up my bowl. And then my boy was like, yo, hold up, and put some keef on top of that. And keef is like the smaller residue from the weed, man. It's like trapped in the bottom of your grinder, right? So shit is like very potent. So my man took like a bunch of keef. He had like a keef mountain, just poured it on top. And I was like, all right, bet. Yo, I thought he was giving it to me because it was my bong, and I filled it up with my weed. So I was like, all right, bet. So I had the torch on me. When I tell you, my head went back, my eyes just started fluttering, and I'm sitting there like, bro. My man turns around. He's like, yo, Daint, what the fuck?
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, what, man? He's like, you finished that whole thing? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I thought it was for me. He's like, nigga, what? There's 7 people in here. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
He's like, are you okay? Dude, I get up. I was like, no, I'm just...
You just been doing some real noob shit, some real rookie shit, bro.
Let me just go to the bathroom, man. Let me just go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no.
Yo, I fell on the floor, and I was just sitting there for like 15 minutes fighting my demons. Fighting my damn demons. It's the worst possible thing that could ever happen to me.
You're bugging.
I sit there on the floor and was looking at the sky, and I'm like... I'm gonna die.
And no one there thought to tell you that was a bad idea?
No, it wasn't.
I don't think anybody was paying attention.
No one knew. See, it was my fault. Like, I didn't even realize that, number one, I had pulled that hard on the first one. Because I lit it. The thing people don't understand, with a torches light so much hotter. Mm-hmm. So if you pull hard like you're pulling normally with a lighter, you're gonna get way more smoke. So I pulled it for like 5 seconds like I normally did. But yo, it was burning through that shit like that. So I didn't even realize I was consuming that much. So I hit it another time and I was fine. 2 hits. Yeah. And I finished the whole bowl by myself because by then I had like super strong lungs. Like I was just smoking all the time. And when you smoke a lot, that's what happens. People think, oh, your lungs get weaker. No, trust me, nigga, your lungs get way stronger. So that's what happened. Man, Matt. Worst experience of my life, man. I was scared. I was beyond scared straight.
See, y'all are trying to convince me, but like, I'm not sure if you're doing a good job. I don't know if you're doing a good job,
Let me clear
man.
my throat. Listen. I can tell you, as someone who is a now professional weed smoker, you have far more good experiences than you would with having bad experiences. Matter of fact, I don't have, even when I told you the story about Amsterdam, that was just me being ill prepared for what I was,
Yeah, you had no idea what you got yourself.
Yeah, because I
get that.
I thought it was like going to be not, like I said, false advertisement, and then it fucking crushed me. But you also learn from your experience. So it's like anything. The first time you're doing it, you're like, oh shit, that might have, like drinking. Oh, that might have been a little bit too much. Like the first time I drank, I was living in Panama. I was probably like, I don't know, 13 years old. Never drank a lick of alcohol in my life, right? So something in Panama called Fiestas Patrias, which is like it's a national holiday where we celebrate our independence, right? But there's like 3 days of this where the whole country comes together and we party and there's parades and bomb food and banging women and all this shit. And anyway, so instead of going home to my cousins,
booty everywhere.
Pretty much. But so instead of going home to my cousins, I ended up going to a friend's house that was like maybe like 3 hours from where our school was, right? So we're all hanging out. Everybody starts drinking, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, you want some, Mike? I'm like, mind you, never drank before, but in my head, I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So I start drinking, right? Yo, I got so fucked up. I'm talking about, I got so fucked up, I had to shit. I went into somebody's backyard, took a shit, then took off their blanket that was hanging up to dry and wiped my ass. I was fucking lit up, bro. That was my first experience or the second time. The second time I got fucked up. I was back in Jersey. I was somebody with this dude I know, we're gonna call him B. I'm not gonna put his whole name out there. We're gonna
B
call
Money?
him B.
B.
So he comes out. I didn't drink. I was all about, athletics and stuff. And he fucking's like, yo, you want some of this? Mind you, it was Hennessy and water. I didn't know better back then. I didn't know nothing about drinking. So I drank the shit. Hennessy and water. Here you go. Bam, knocking it back like nothing. Bro.
And the water diluted it so much to where it's just like
I'm just
you don't
killing
even tell.
it.
You can't
like,
even tell.
I was just killing this shit. Bro, I got so drunk I woke up on the pool table. They put fucking bags on the ground because I had thrown up everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Like fucking projectile vomit and shit.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, man. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But you live and you learn. And to my point is, when you smoke weed, you're going to learn what your tolerance is, and then eventually you're going to build a tolerance on that. Weed is far too good to not experience it, in my opinion.
You can have some of the best experiences I ever had was when I was smoking when I was in Virginia.
Word.
We would smoke, and then we would go to this place called the Cascades. The Cascades is a trail down in Southwest Virginia, and at the end of the trail, there's this huge, beautiful waterfall. Right, so we would take the 1.5 mile walk. It was just amazing. With trees, you see some birds you've never seen before. The fish jumping out the water. It's an amazing experience. And then once we get to the waterfall, you can like climb up some steps and like stand next to it. But in order to get to the top, you dead ass have to climb the side of this fucking mountain in order to get over the top. So what do? We scale the mountain, go up, take our shoes off, walk across the river, and we put our feet over the edge of the waterfall, pull out the bowl. Just smoking, right? Yeah. And when you smoke in nature, Matt, it's like a euphoric experience because it opens up your mind.
It's amazing. Euphoric, the way you're describing it to me.
If you feel like you're one with nature, man, like you start to hear the birds and a different sound, the water just
Mind you,
flowing.
This Negro high right now. That's why he sounds like that.
I am a little high right now.
That's why he sounds like
that. But
so.
listen, man, it's one of the best feelings
But it's
ever.
not. It's like once you find that specific strain, it's everything. It is everything. Once you get it right, because indica and sativa, it's a matter of figuring out which one is for you, or if you like a hybrid, figuring that out. It's all a matter of figuring out what you like, how much of it you like. After being over, because I lived in Germany, after being over there for so long, what they like to do is they mix their weed and their tobacco. I thought it was crazy.
Spliffy.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that shit was crazy, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, let me try it out. You actually get stupid high, right? And it's crazy because when you think about it,
and you get the nicotine aspect of it too.
So when I first started smoking, like I would smoke a blunt, and then I would immediately after smoke a cigarette because it increases your high. Yeah, well, you don't need to do that, but they do more. I would say like 70 tobacco, 30% weed, and I go the other way around, probably like 80-20. So I put in mostly weed and then just a little bit of tobacco to boost that high. It is amazing.
I know people portray it as if like weed is just so bad. Like we've given you some stories. Yeah, that's facts. Like, you all have your stories.
Some pretty bad stories.
I'll give you some bad.
You're not making a good case for it.
But I'll tell you this, especially when I really, really started smoking, I would go to class while I was back in college, and I would go to class high sometimes. And you hear that, you're like, "What? You showed the class high? How could you do that?" First of all, no one fucking knew in the first place. But the reason why I went was because in the morning, sometimes I would be so damn anxious because like, oh my God, I have so much stuff to do today. Or
I feel
like, something's just on my mind. You feel like you have this dark cloud over you. And that's what happens with my anxiety. So I'll just wake up. I remember I would sit on my roof. I had roof access in my window, and I would sit on the roof. I'd light up a bowl real quick. And I put my clothes on and go to class. And I was so much more calm and relaxed, man. I wasn't just overbeared with all these different thoughts and emotions. I was cooling.
You know something? And you say that, and it made me remember, like probably the best opportunity for me to smoke weed, and I didn't, was when I was back in college, like you said. Because I was a tryhard in college. I'm not going to lie. I had a fucking almost 4.0 GPA. That's how fucking smart I was. Not to brag.
As you should. Nah, brag about that shit.
So I had almost a 4.0. And on top of that, now at this time, I'm also working at my college's radio station at Rider University. And that shit is like a fucking literal job. Like that's where I spent all of my time when I wasn't in class, was producing shows, making my own show, And then, we had some issues with the FCC where, we now had to scramble to get a bunch of documents that we didn't know we had to upload publicly. Mm-hmm. So now I'm stressed the fuck out because I was tasked with that and I fucking succeeded. So now I'm like, God damn, I'm so stressed. Like that would have been the time where I could have fucking smoked.
Like
I'm going to be straight up honest.
You ever about to go to bed and you're just like, you had a long day, you're just stressed the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
at that point, I would just jerk off. But yeah,
yeah, you could just jerk off.
That can be messy. You know what I'm saying? Weed ain't messy,
weed
bro.
like
you
that.
grind your shit, or you see, and there's so many ways you can consume it. You can vape it, or you can heat it up. Now you can do the oils. You can grind
tea.
it up and put it in a fucking paper and a blunt backwoods. You can fucking put it in a bowl. You can put it in a bong. There's so many beautiful ways to consume it. There's so many ways.
Sometimes when I had
I like vaping. If vaping is less harsh.
Yeah, facts.
Or just roll up a joint, bro, and kick back.
Roll up a white boy real quick and be
just
cool.
kick back and just.
Sometimes when I was at school, I would take the stems from my nugs and I would like collect them. My boy actually told me how to do this. I would collect them and I would make weed tea. Sometimes, like even when I was feeling sick, sometimes drink some weed tea. And what it would do is, first of all, you get the green tea.
Yeah,
that's already a health benefit. Put a little honey in there, and then you're so much more calm and relaxed because you're heating up. You're hot, I got a bad temperature, so you're trying to calm the body down.
Word. It
was a great experience. And then I got over my sickness so much quicker.
And we're not, exactly, I'm glad you brought that up because you're not even talking about the medicinal properties of it. We're talking about curing cancer. No bullshit. This is legit. Curing cancer with marijuana, bro.
I don't know if there's a correlation between COVID and marijuana, but I'll be honest right now.
A lot of people, people have said that.
COVID's been around for
people that have
2 years now.
Haven't got it.
I haven't got it once.
It's hard for me to believe because I smoke a lot of pot and I got it. But that's probably because I was in like a fucking COVID cesspool because I had the brilliant idea of going out on St. Patty's Day at a packed bar.
See, all I did all quarantine, me and my two boys, all we do is just smoke. Go in the shed, just chill, smoke, and relax. And I wasn't out with a lot of people all the time. And if I was, we were playing basketball. All right, that's normal shit. None of us caught COVID. Just cooling. I think it has so many benefits that people don't know because they're not educated on it. My freshman year of college, I took a weed class.
So that gives me the question, what are your thoughts now that weed is now legal in New Jersey? The day after 420, no less.
I think that's pretty dope. My biggest thing is that now this gives people the opportunity who had to do it behind closed doors, meaning professionals, because it was looked at as a taboo. It was looked at as this thing that was destroying people, but really everyone had just been misinformed and they're uneducated on it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Once people start doing their own research, because here's my thing. You'll say that marijuana is a drug because, first of all, you hear marijuana, you're like, that sounds bad. Marijuana is not a real fucking word. It was made up by the government, but we'll talk about that another time. But you'll drink alcohol. You don't know what the hell's in that shit. And that shit will kill you.
You're an example of it.
Right, exactly. It will kill you. You smoke cigarette. I mean, I'm not an advocate for cigarettes. That's something I would never do.
No, fuck
cigarettes will kill you. Cocaine will kill you. Weed will not. It's natural. It's from the ground. Yes,
that's always been my argument with people. Like, you're going to legalize legalize alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. Which does far worse harm to your body. What happens when you're drunk? You make poor decisions. People get behind the wheel, drink and drive. People who fucking can't control their liquor get like aggression issues, things like that. I have never, ever, ever in my life, not once, met someone who smoked a bowl
and got aggressive. Never seen it.
Never. Not once. You know what happens when you smoke? You either get A, you want the munchies, or B, you fucking want to go to sleep. That's it. No one ever wants to fight. Like, I'm going to box. Like, bro, you want to box? Like, get the fuck out of here. You're ruining my high. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. This is why I'm so glad I can finally go to the dispensary without having to have a fucking medical card and be like, yo, thanks. Let me get an eighth of that Gorilla Kush right there.
Yeah, you know let me get some Skywalker OG right there. You know what I mean?
Like, this is...
let me get my Banana Kush. Let me get my Bubba Kush. Hell yeah.
And they're not even talking about the revenue that they're about to generate because of this. Like, the government needs to hurry up and go ahead and just legalize this shit federally. Because the revenue that... I mean, granted, initially, there's going to be a couple speed bumps, figuring this shit out. How do we do this? How do we tax it? Blase, blase, blah, right? I hope they don't tax it like cigarettes because then it's going to be... God. too expensive? Is it going to be far too expensive, and then people are not going to want to grow as much, or is going to still allow for the illicit market because it's just too much? You got to spend like too much.
Trapping's never going to end.
No.
It's not ending.
Here's my final question
Yep.
in regards to this, at least the political aspect of it. Everybody who now went to jail on a weed charge probably should get released now, right?
Yes.
You damn straight.
Yes,
They should have. They should have been released 4 or 5 years ago.
So if you're gonna, I definitely think if you're gonna, make it legal, that everyone that has been jailed due to it should be exonerated.
As long as it's just for weed.
Yeah,
now, if it's
yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
So-
So totally just weed charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for me, it also depends on the charge. Like if you're trying to sell like 12 pounds of weed, that's a different story because that's now you're into the distribution part of it, and that's a little different. But if you got popped for having like an ounce on you, come on, bro. You're talking about there's a lot of people in jail for minor offenses. Like if it's a minor offense, let them go.
We can probably clear out a quarter of all jails across
There's
America
no reason.
for
Oh
just
man,
that
and
alone.
even the prison system and the way it works, that's a whole nother topic that we should get into maybe another time. But as of right now, if it's a minor offense and it's marijuana related, let them out. Let them out.
You'd see so many more black people walking the streets if we exonerated them for weed. So
You see
many
more and more
African
people,
Americans.
bro.
So many
Just
more.
people in general. Like there's no reason. There's no reason why it should ever be considered illegal to be with.
Facts.
I mean,
If you in jail for 10 years for selling a gram or having a gram,
and
are
that's
you
insane.
serious?
Like you can't do harm with a gram of weed. That's nothing.
Something that's not going to kill me, something that actually makes me feel good and does good by my body. But if I had a cigarette on me, I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
I saw a Joe Rogan quote that makes perfect sense. It's like if you're gonna, you're letting people who have, drink, drive, possibly have killed people, they may walk the streets, who knows. But now you're going to arrest someone for having a plant on them that makes them happy.
Yeah.
And that is the real criminal.
and
right
it's
there. Not the person carrying the weed, but you're the real criminal who's now prosecuting them.
And
for that.
it's a terrific point because people can, granted, unless you actually kill someone, right? If you get caught drunk driving, 9 times out of 10, unless you have prior offenses, like a slap on the wrist, right? You may go to jail for the night, get bailed out, you go to court, they revoke your license, you pay a fine, you go on with your life, right? If you get popped for the same, let's try to make it equivalent, right? If you get, let's say you got fucking an ounce of weed on you, right? You're going to jail. You're going to federal prison. That's insane.
This is what
your life has ended
It's
because of
fucked
that.
up.
You can literally run the risk of killing someone while driving drunk, and you get basically a slap on the wrist. Your first offense, right? But if you get popped with an ounce, it's a wrap. That's insane to me.
This is what I've always said about weed. First of all, the government never liked it because it came from brown countries. It couldn't grow here at first, and the brown countries brought it over to here, and it was selling, distributing to a bunch of different people, and they could not find a way to control it and make money from it. So what do? Call it marijuana, bang, make it a drug, create a taboo that was completely false and fuck people's heads up until now. People got smart and be like, weed ain't that bad. But I've always said this about weed. People will take a prescribed drug from your doctor. He writes down some weird ass word, like, oh, I need to take this Tylenol. How many people actually know what the hell's in Tylenol? You know what it does? Yeah, it cures my headaches. All right, takes down my fever. But you don't know what the hell's in that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in Zyrtec. Yeah, I don't know what's in Singular. It's good for my allergies, but I don't know what the hell the shit does for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what ingredients are in there. All my doctor does is write the name down. I go to the pharmacy. I get it. I take it twice a day. Bang. But you won't smoke weed, something that comes from the ground. So you would trust something that you have no idea what it is just because your doctor said it.
Yeah.
But you won't
Yeah,
inhale something that comes from the ground naturally from Earth.
and that's and that. I mean, oh my God, that's opening a whole other can of worms because you're talking about COVID.
Now we're going after Big Pharma here.
Yeah. And that's
You trying to put us in prison?
But that's the whole thing. That's exactly why it took so long for it to be legalized because of the medicinal properties and benefits of it. Big Pharma's going to lose a lot of money. Let's be real about that shit.
Yep.
Oh, no
Because
shit.
all the
As they
shit,
fucking should.
like as someone who suffers with PTSD and all the pills that they try to give me, I feel so much better, so much more relaxed when I have my marijuana.
You and every single other of my veteran friends that have the same issue as you.
So it's like, why give me this crappy ass pill that's gonna zombie me, or you can give me the marijuana and I'm gonna be fucking happy and good and in a better headspace to be.
Marijuana only
contributing
started to
citizen.
become into like this legal atmosphere, and I said this when the talk first started coming out. Like, yo, we really need to legalize weed. Then the government started getting on it.
Yeah.
And I said it's sophomore year of high school. I was like, they will legalize marijuana once the government figures out a way to make money off of it. That's all they care. They don't give a fuck about our health. No, they don't give a fuck what happens in our life. Because you know, if they did, prohibition would still be around, cigarettes would be illegal, and marijuana would be the most legal drug in America. Yep. They would have doctors prescribing that shit when people have ailments instead of these fucking pills. And that's what they need to do. Because like, I'm not taking these pills anymore, these other medicines. I have no idea what the fuck is in them. And then they have these damn side effects.
I wouldn't be surprised if a few years from now that you got recreational marijuana that you can get over the counter. Right. And then they'd have some high potent shit that are prescribed by doctors. Watch. You heard me say it first. That's probably what's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to release this episode, but definitely we'll definitely quote you on that.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I just can't wait till the day I walk in the doctor's office and it's like, I got back pain, man. Oh, it's all right. I'm going to prescribe you this Gorilla Glue and this Skywalker OG. I want you to go down to the dispensary, all right? I want you to go pick up 2/8.
Yes.
All right? Then grab yourself a couple white boys on me. Here's the cash. And go on your merry way. And I go home, roll up them things.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to wrap it up, gentlemen. Any last words?
We out this bitch.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Later.
You've been listening to the Bromigos Podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. I beat her. That's okay. She'll be back. Another